Failing to control the club face and know exactly what to work on is the biggest problem amateur golfers face. Meet Gary. He's been playing for 3.5 years and reached a crazy good level of a 7.7 index, but he's struggling with the flip, the low left shot, and it gets worse with his longer clubs. Plus, the long irons aren't just getting the height that he wants. Grip is a major contributor to this. I'm going to show Gary and you how we can create a high but penetrating ball flight. And in the simplest way possible, start to control the club face, where he can trust his swing, not only on the range, but on the course too. I'm sure like you, Gary likes to keep things simple. Now, he found this really quick to implement. I've already watched Gary hit several 8 irons and 6 irons to see what his patterns are, so now it's time to get into the lesson. This is our starting point.
Oh, hit the mat.
Okay, no worries, right, let's relax a second. So let's take a little look at these videos. So, you mentioned something before on the way up about you had a lesson about a single plane swing.
Yes.
Is this one of the reasons why you have your hands quite high at address? Okay. So, is that something that, how long have you been playing? So out of the 3.5 years you've been playing, how long have you done that?
3.
Okay, so a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm very reluctant to sort of change that too much because it's one of your patterns, and like I said before, we're not looking to radically change the swing, we're just looking to make a few things a little bit different. One thing I would say is, I just want to check that sometimes when the club goes quite vertical like this, it can go a little bit into the palm, okay? And I want to make sure it's not.
Yeah.
Now I know you've got thick grips, and that will complement the handle being a little higher because it'll give you a little bit more to sort of grip onto. But the issues that I see really here is where we are at the top. Our club face is ridiculously closed.
Right.
So let me show you this. So if you look at the right side of the screen here, the first move in our swing, we'd like to see the sort of, let's say this is spine angle, your club is like this angle. So very, very closed. Your sort of logo of the glove is working very down to the ground, which would really correlate to that being closed.
Yeah.
And then another checkpoint that I would always check is here at the top. Where's our club face? So if anybody watching this now, if your club face looks like this, it's very, very closed. So all that loft pointing up to the sky.
Yeah.
Now, Dustin Johnson, one of the best players in the world. John Ram, a little bit like that. So it's not bad, but when you've got then a pattern of a little bit of a flip, that's why you hit the low.
Yeah.
That's why I hit the left. So if you've got any position like that, you have to work so hard with the body in order to sort of facilitate that.
Yeah.
Now, I mean this in the nicest way possible, to be realistic, we sort of need to soften that down.
Yeah.
1, to hit the irons a little bit higher, and 2, just give you a bit more confidence in sort of where that ball's going. So we'd like to see the toe hang down a little bit more in this direction rather than be up here. Now, I actually really like what you do on the downswing. So if you ever look at this on the way down, you move great. Really good. So we move it back, we move it down, into impact, really good. You flip this one a little bit, not one of your best ones, see the toe rotating over if I zoom that in.
Yeah.
And then all the way through. I actually think you move really good.
Good.
I just think we've got to complement that with a slightly better. You're expecting a lot worse, weren't you? So from face on as well, look. Hips turn great, shoulders turn good. On the way down, make a movement into the left side. Hands on the golf ball at impact, and then we turn through. Really, really tidy. Really tidy. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things you could argue you might slide a little bit too much, X, Y, Z, but I always ask everybody this question. What hits the golf ball?
Yeah, club face.
Yeah. So if our club face is a little bit out of kilter, everything you're then having to feel is a compensatory mechanism. Now, there's always going to be compensations in a swing. I get that. But we want to make it a little bit less. So let's go back down to 8 iron and we're going to build through.
Yeah.
And this is really important that we don't just make a change and then go, right, okay, go straight to 6 iron. We take a step back, we'll do a few drills and we'll build it back up. Right. Okay, Gary, I'm going to park that there. I'm going to put this under 8 iron, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it under a different club. You think about it, if your face is always way left, what would you always have to do with the club to swing?
You've always got to swing.
Exactly.
Out, right?
It's like slicers. Where's their face always? Really open, so where do they all swing?
Yeah.
That way.
I have actually tried to change it, but that's when you're just guessing.
Yeah. And I'd always say, like, put that on the desk, Gary. You want to just make sure you're not trying to fight fires. And what I mean by that is you're not just going to make a change for the sake of making a change.
Yeah, I'd be guessing.
A lot of people do that, and it's then like you're opening up a can of worms.
Yeah.
Because right now, you understand what you've got to do to play good golf.
Yeah.
And that's a very, very powerful thing. That's why I'm really, as a golf coach, I'm not like, you've got to change everything. Because you don't. I've got to give you the tools to be able to go on the course and go, I know roughly, or more than I did before, I know where that ball's going.
Yeah.
So let's just have a look at this grip. And this is some checkpoints to everybody watching right now. God, my hands are cold. I moved that mat before and look how dirty my hands have got from moving the mat. Right, so let's have a look at this grip. So just leave that hand off for me.
So
It's a little bit in the palm, and that's why you wear out that glove.
yeah.
Okay, so how often do you go through a glove?
I've had this, not that long actually.
Is it? And then, so that's not that long, and look how much wear you've got.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're only going to make it a little bit less in the palm, because obviously you have your handle quite high.
Yeah.
So for me to put it in the fingers, it would then feel all a little bit weird. So you've got things that complement. But for me, this is one of the reasons why your hand works like this on the way back. Okay, so let's get it a little bit more on the fingers. And what I mean by that, and this is a great checkpoint for everybody, the club, that bit here, this warm bit, wants to sit more on top rather than...
Right, okay, yeah.
Okay, just a little bit. So make sure that face is square. And what is also interesting, at a dress, you constantly stand there with your face open.
Yeah, I've got...
Yeah, so you can see there's a lot of things that you're compensating with, right?
Yeah,
in order to hit that straight. You stood there with an open face and you're hitting draws.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit too many moving parts.
Okay.
Now, how does that feel?
It feels like... It actually feels okay.
Okay, good. It's not too
It feels like I'm further down the club.
Yeah, you might be. Because
I
when
think
you've got it in
I'm
the palm...
pulling it right at the end of the
Yeah,
club.
I definitely agree with that. So let me just grab one of your clubs here, and I think this is a really important thing just to look at. So you were, then I'll show everybody in the video in a second, you were like this, right?
Yeah.
Right at the end.
Yeah, right at the end.
And that makes it way more comfortable to go like that. So where's my face?
Yeah.
Really closed. So I want us to get that little more on top.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely you'll feel like you're a little bit more down.
Yeah.
And you've got speed, so that's not something you've got to worry about. So just to show everybody there, Gary was a little bit like that. Now we're going to be a little more like that. That's really nice. Okay, right, so just do that first thing for me, get that grip. Now, I want to talk about takeaway and top of backswing, and this is really like our lesson. So I would say the first domino of the swing, this is probably the most important part of anybody's golf swing.
Yeah.
You can nail this start, you've got a great downswing, so we're just going to complement it. Right, okay, address that ball for me. We're going to do work to a few little checkpoints. So we've got the nice normal setup as you had. Hands might want to feel a tiny bit lower just because you've got it more in the fingers.
Yeah.
But this is the story you had before. Both hands on for me. Let me control it. You just keep your hands on. You were here, really closed.
Yeah.
And then at the top, the loft then points up. I'll
Yeah.
show you this video afterwards, right? We're going to feel this now. Don't look at the club. Let me control it. And then I want you just to, for your benefit, but for everybody else's, tell me what you felt was happening. Okay? So feel this for me.
Oh, right.
Okay?
It feels like I was swinging out the way,
Okay.
and the face is wide open.
Now that face is absolutely still slightly closed.
Is it?
So it's slightly strong,
Right.
but you've moved the wrist in a much better fashion.
Right.
And the face is much more manageable.
Right, okay.
So now on the way down, yes, okay, I'm still going to want you to feel that sort of lovely shaft lean like you had with hat motion.
Yeah.
But for me, you're going to fear far less this left shot because the face isn't as closed.
Yeah.
And we're going to start hitting those towering iron shots.
Yeah.
We don't want them high and loopy, but you want to hit high and this
Penetrating?
way. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So just do that again for me. Have a few practice swings. And I just want to show you this on video, what that felt like. Feel weird?
It doesn't feel weird because I think it's natural kind of movement.
Okay.
Um,
Let me just jump in here and I'll get that little video.
I think I'm purposely closing it over.
Yeah, I think you are.
That maybe the hack motion's trained that too much.
I think if for someone that's been a slicer in your early days,
Yeah.
yeah, you've just done it too much. So show me that again there. All the way up to the top. And do like a full-blooded practice swing here. Yeah, that's it.
Do a full swing.
Yeah, like a full-blooded practice swing.
That's maybe not enough, that one.
Yeah, perfect. One more. All the way back and through this time. Right, let's have a little look at this together. Everybody can see this. So anytime you're trying to make a change, just do a few practice swings. How can anybody expect to go and feel that and hit a shot straight away? Your
Yeah.
brain's got to sort of go, right, okay, got to give myself a chance. This is what I had before. How many balls have you hit? You mentioned you hit quite a lot.
Yeah, I go to the range just to get out of the house. Get away.
You're not going to let your wife see this, right?
No, I work from home, so
Oh, ideal.
lunchtime, go
Straight
and hit
there.
some balls. Just to either.
Right, okay, so have a little look at this here. We'll record this so everybody can see it. This is so important. Like, for me, this is the most important bit. Then we're going to start hitting some shots. We'll go through a little bit of a sequence. Right, okay, so on the right is what you were doing. So you can see here, really closing the first foot. And then at the top, that sort of relationship. And I'm not going to play it all the way through, but look at the difference in that.
Oh, yeah.
That is pure. So we've still got that nice relationship between left wrist, but can you see how, right, before you had left wrist nice and flat, club face ridiculously closed, not communicating, not matched.
Yeah.
Now we've got left wrist and club face much more closely matched.
Yeah.
Right? Now what did that feel like for everybody watching there?
It felt fine.
What did it feel like? So when I'm saying that, did you feel like you had to roll anything? Did you feel anything in your left hand?
I felt like I slightly pushed it out the way.
Okay, cool. Look at the
So
difference in that.
I cocked the wrist
Okay.
to do that, and then I felt like I was just putting my thumb
More up.
the way.
Okay, so some feelings. Remember, you like things natural.
Yeah.
More of a cock, thumbs up, as opposed to, put your hand on there. I'm going to start hitting now. Before, you were at the logo down.
Yeah, I'm actually consciously closing it over.
Yeah, right. Okay, so the way I want you to hit these, we're going to hit a set of 5. Let's hit 3 at 50% speed.
Right, okay.
And then we're going to hit 2 at 75%. I'm not bothered how the first 3 go. They're your technical shots.
Right.
You 2 afterwards are your more core shots. So we're going to be a bit more like sort of involved and picture the shot. A little bit like you do normally. So get them set out on the range. And for everybody watching, please make sure you practice this way. Like, it's not realistic just to whack, 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 whack.
Yeah.
You know, that's why people go to the range and feel that they get worse.
Yeah.
Literally. My biggest bugbear. Right, okay. Let's start with that face nice and square at address as well. Let's not have it a little bit open. You know what I'm going to do for this? Let's create you a little square edge. This is a great little tip, everybody. So you now can see a little bit of a square edge, right?
Yeah.
So you want it to sit more like that. So the leading edge is creating a 90-degree angle. So for everybody watching, look there. I'm talking about this now. If you place that there, leading edge is creating a 90-degree. Whereas before, you were like that.
Yes.
Oh, not knowingly, but just a little bit like that. Right, let's hit. So remember, 50%.
Right. Yeah. That's decent.
Not as much curve. Now, we've not got as much speed. So that might
No, I
have a
was
ball.
50. I was just.
Yeah,
just
no,
trying to-
exactly. So I'd like to be jumping up and down right now, but I want to be realistic with this and real that with less speed, as a good player yourself, I would hope you would hit more shots like that. But that feel different.
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's try it again. I really, really like that.
Right.
So do you know what? Go to town on this. Exaggerate it. Love it. Now look at the height on that with less.
That's good. I like it.
Okay, and one more at 50. Really go to town on it. So I want you, and anytime anybody's practicing, I mean go to town on it, it's probably an English term that. Do you understand? Yes.
Yeah,
It's probably a British term rather than an English term.
Yeah.
I'm treating like I live in a different country.
Let me just feel it again. So thumbs up.
Yeah, let's do it together. So it's feeling there. So it's still strong that, and then it feels more there. That's it. Rather than having to be, you were like really flat, really close.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how your swings probably got flatter over the years to compensate.
Yeah.
And it's great because you found a way of playing, but we just want to tighten it up.
Oh.
Just watch that face at address. That was a little bit open at address. So if we looked at this data here, and I showed you that there, path was 3 right and face was 3 right.
Ah, okay.
So
right.
that's all that was. So just make sure, it will probably look closed at address to you, but you know that's square. Do that again. I actually saw a video, you might have seen it popping around the internet, Xander Schauffele, at the Masters last year. He said he was really struggling with like what looked square.
Yeah.
He kept having it too closed, and he put a glove box down,
Yeah.
and he just had to use the square edge, and he was walking around the golf course trying to find a square edge to do it. But it's and everybody thinks that top players don't do that.
It's a basic.
They are doing so much that you don't even realise. It is untrue.
Yeah.
Like when I was caddying for Tom, like we played in groups with, I'm trying to think of people, on the range next to Sergio Garcia, and you wouldn't believe, like, everyone thinks he's just dead silky, and he is silky, smooth as hell, right? But he's working on his game.
Yeah, of course.
It's mad. Right, so get that face square. This is now 75% speed, a little bit more like you would on the course, right? That's still a little bit open, that. That's square.
Right, okay.
Beautiful golf shot. That's pure. Now how much little deviation did that just have?
Wow.
So you swung 3 right. This is perfect draw numbers. 3 right, face 1 left, and face still pointing right at target slightly.
Right.
Beautiful golf shot. Beautiful golf shot. But sorry, that was really not very easy for me to give you. Now, in terms of, give me some feedback there for everybody watching. I adjusted your face, didn't I?
You closed it.
Well, relative to what you
Well,
did.
to me it was closed.
Can we just show everybody here that down the floor? So that's your habit again there.
Yeah, be open.
I got it to go like that.
Yes.
And from there, you were thinking probably it's going to go left.
And never.
No, never. It was beautiful, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
just pure. Right, let's hit a couple more.
Oh.
A little squeezy.
I never done. It didn't feel like the other one.
Should we go to 7-9? We'll go up a club.
Yeah,
We're going to do a set. So, we're going to hit 5 more as part of this lesson. And just a little thing extra. There's so much coming on in this video because you're going to understand like the start of the swing, 2 positions we're trying to work on, and we'll go over them once more so you can just really log that in your brain. But also, how we're practicing here. Look how little balls we've hit. But you probably feel, Gary, don't you? You've probably got more out of the less balls
Yeah.
than just stood there whacking.
Just thought, yeah, exactly.
Because stood there whacking is just reactive, and reactive practice is just, the word I'd use is but I don't know if I can go on YouTube. So this is the way you can go there and go, you know what, right, I feel like I've done more. So when you're going at lunchtime, grab 50 balls max and work like this.
Yeah.
Max. Right, let's show me again. Let's really go through those positions. I'm going to get this on 7-iron. So show me again, 1 second. My multitasking is not very good, and my wife will vouch for it.
Guys don't multitask. Don't worry about it.
So, just remember, slightly in the fingers more is our first point. Nice and square at address. Think of us building that process up. So when we go on the course later, these are all your little cues that you take to the course. So you get your face square, slightly in the fingers.
Yep.
And then backswing wise, we're trying to feel, that's our first checkpoint. Club face more matching spine, not really over. Then as you build to the top, we want the left wrist and the club matching. It is slightly closed. I like golf to have it slightly strong because people are chronic slicers. So this is still slightly closed, but bear in mind before, let me just control it there, you were like that.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just a long
It's
lot
actually harder to do it with that grip.
Yeah, 100%. And it goes back to, and I'll just do this again, when you've got it so much, not so much in the palm, because it wasn't really palmy, but when it's here, that's not comfortable to set the wrist, is it?
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to set the wrist. I feel loads of pressure in there.
Yeah.
So what's more comfortable is just move my wrist like that. That's sort of what you had.
Yeah.
Whereas when you get it in the fingers, you then got leverage. So you said about, oh, set the wrist more. Well, you do that because you're like, oh God, right, now I can set the wrists.
Yes.
Because look how easy that is. I can do that all day.
Yeah.
It's like hammering. It's like if I said to you, right, hammer that, look how much I use my wrist.
Yeah.
If I put the hammer in the palm, I have to use it from my elbow.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you were doing.
Right.
Okay. So back to 50%. We're now on 7 irons. So we're hopefully going to see that ball flight just creep up a little bit higher. What a golf shot. How good's that?
So lovely.
That was ace. Right, let's go again.
I'm not trying to hammer it. That was.
So numbers there were beautiful. Really good. So you hit down at 3.7. I'll show everybody on the camera now in a minute, which is great. You want to be around about 4.5.
Right.
Ball speed was tasty there. Bear in mind, we got range balls. You hardly swung at that. Your club head speed was less than what you were doing with 8 iron on your first round of shots.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, you're at 50%.
Yeah.
And you got a 109.7 ball speed, 1.4 smash.
Right.
So look at data here. So we swung 3.4 into out. Before, these are creeping up to 5 and 6 into out.
Right. Okay.
So now going back to when if your face is not as closed, you don't have to swing as right.
Yeah, your body
like a
doesn't have to.
slicer. If your face isn't as open, you don't have to swing as left.
Yeah.
So look here, 3.4, we hit down 3.7, face 1.2 closed, but still pointing slightly right at target. Wow, we got that flight. And that's where it finished on the range here. That's 7 iron, right in amongst the 6 irons. Bear in mind, you were hitting them full out before.
Yes.
And look where your 8 irons were that you just hit. Bear in mind, you're hitting them the same as your 6.
I know.
Because they're getting a bit more height.
Yeah.
Not height and weak, they're just height and penetrating.
Yeah. Awesome.
Ace.
Right. Same again. Oh.
Great strike, just left that face a little bit open. So you're going to be a little susceptible to that, aren't you? So what you'll realise now is you can actually start to release the club a little more over a period of time. I don't think about it too much, just see the patterns. Great club path, just left the face a bit open.
Face is open.
Yeah, and but think about it. If you always had it closed and held it off, now it's squaring if you hold it off.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, again, 50%. Beautiful strike. Again, left the face a little open. But how about that height?
Yeah, it's lovely. It's weird seeing a different flight, you know.
So for me now, I think look at you and go, right, you could knock way more shots off your handicap. Now you're not. That becomes your bad shot, a little push that finishes. I'll tell you exactly where it finished. In terms of target, it finished 15 yards right. So you're still roughly on the edge of the green.
Yeah.
When it's going left, you can't talk to it.
And it doesn't stop either.
No.
It keeps going, yeah.
So there, you swung 2.5 into out. You hit down it, lovely. The face just a little bit open.
Right.
So now we're at 75%. This is how you build in some good habits. This is great. Beauty. Isn't that mad? A little baby fade.
I've never... I don't hit fades with my irons.
Now, in the end, I don't want you to start fading it massively.
No.
But what I want you to understand is that you can now train your brain over a period of time that you can start to, I'm not saying flip it, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, feel it turning.
I'm feeling you can just let it release a little bit rather than it being closed and sort of a held flip. It can be like, okay, I can learn to release that, but that's down the road. Don't try and do too much at once because equally, you're a great player. You will, over time, over the pattern, go back to that theory, react to patterns, don't react to single shots. You will learn to react to it.
Yeah.
Like you've learned to react to a really close face, you will improve that.
Yeah.
Right, one more.
Okay.
Lovely shot. Look, isn't that nice? It started a little left of target, but didn't carry on moving.
Let me leave you with this summary I said to Gary. It's really simple to build through into your golf swing. Start with the club face, make sure it's nice and square, and find a straight edge to do this. Then build into the grip, slightly more in the fingers to improve that control. And then all it is, work on that feeling. The club face being a little more square in the first half of the swing, building into that nice neutral position at the top. And this way, you can just let it go. You can make your swing way more natural and powerful. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.